The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University. Hello and welcome to The Art Beat this week on KLZK FM 105.7. I'm your host, Peter Martins, and we are coming to you from the Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts on the campus of beautiful Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. And I have as my guest today someone not in technically a school of theater or school of art or school of music. This is the Senior Director for Development in the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Robin Phillips.
It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. And
It's my pleasure.
We're always happy to kind of stretch our legs a little bit and get a view of the broader context of bringing the arts and productions and programs and all these things to the Talkington College here at Texas Tech. And you're certainly a key person in that realm, working oftentimes behind the scenes to facilitate great stuff that happens. And hopefully we'll be able to get into to some of that. So maybe first, how long have you been in this development position in the College of Visual and Performing Arts?
I have been in this development position for 8 years. In March 2026, I'll begin my 9th year in this position. And I will say that is somewhat unusual in the development sector. The average tenure for someone in a development leadership role tends to be anywhere, and that this ebbs and flows, but it tends to be closer to 2 years.
Wow.
And I point that out only because I feel like it really speaks to the great things happening in the college and what a wonderful place it is to be and how much I've enjoyed being here. So when you meet a development person that's been in their role for 8 years, something good is happening in the organization, even something that they're not directly responsible for. But the culture is something that, they want to be a part of. In order to sustain the role, it has to be pretty positive. So
that's a good point. And the 2-year kind of average kind of shocks me because it seems to me in my, somewhat arm's-length view of your position is it's very much built on relationships.
That is exactly right, Peter. That is the irony of these development roles, is that they benefit so tremendously from longevity. And so we've really seen the fruits of that here in this role as things have just grown from a development standpoint through the years.
So obviously you've cultivated you've met lots of people in the community and
Yes.
Over many years, lots of points of contact. I wonder if that was easier as you were kind of growing into this position because of your own background in the performing arts, specifically musical theater, if I'm correct.
Well, yes, opera, classical, vocal music, and musical theater, just generally all around singing. And I'm so glad you're asking this question because maybe that's also what's kept me in my role for such a long time. I've had a pretty long career in arts administration, specifically fundraising now, maybe 15 plus, maybe almost 20 years now.
Okay.
And I have only been in development for the arts because it really is where my passion is. I mean, I come from a family where the arts was always important. My mom is a painter, as is my sister, as was my grandmother, but music was always what I did starting from a very young age.
Okay.
And ended up getting 2 degrees in vocal performance and was out in the world performing, auditioning, singing in both opera and musical theater. And arts administration sort of found me, I guess, as a way to sustain myself when I was working as a performer. And there are lots of challenges, obviously, to hashing out a career in the performing arts, which it's a very fulfilling career, and many of our students go on to do it, but others of us take other paths in the arts.
Sure.
And that is what I did, and that's what I've been doing for a long time.
That's great, and it's a good example of something that we are talking about more and more in the arts in general, in the different art areas. The professional societies are having more conversations about, hey, let's be clear with students as they're going even through their 4 years of undergraduate that becoming a section violinist with the LA Phil is one pathway, but it's only one and maybe not even the most common one. There are a lot of these arts support cultivation sort of positions that are just as important as the people on stage doing the things or people hanging things up in galleries or whatever. So thank you for bringing that perspective.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, actually, because that is so key. I love that question, like I said, because it is so key to why I do what I do now. And I mean, for me, just one more comment on that, in that people who begin in a performance aspect of the arts find that there are other skill sets. In my case, being a singer, being an opera singer, and maybe not every opera singer would agree with this, but for me, it's very, very physical. It's almost like you're a type of athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became where I thought to myself, can I really stake? Some are cut out to do that as a career, others of us are not. I was always a little more cerebral, had other skill sets, other things that came easily to me, so that I thought I just can't stake my career and well-being on this very, very athletic thing. I'm just not cut out for it. But these other
Sure.
things I can do. And I'm getting a lot back, and it's very rewarding, and I'm meeting great people. And circling back to your original statement about, is your own background what's kept you in this position? 100 million % it has. Yeah.
Great. And to your earlier point, I've met many well-known and well-regarded performing artists who do not have the relational skills to do your job. I'll just put it that way.
Thank you, Peter. I mean, I guess that makes me feel, that's good. That's positive. It makes me feel like I made some good choices. Although, again, I've been doing this for a while, so I feel very comfortable in it. And it is, the relationship building is just absolutely the rewarding part of what I do.
Great. So I'd like to ask you, to the extent you're able to talk about ongoing projects, what are some things that you consider real exciting recent successes in the realm of building support, building endowments, that sort of thing?
That, again, you're just nailing it with these questions, because these are all the things I love to talk about. I'll talk a little bit about some of the highlights for me since I've come into this role that have been interesting projects that have helped, I guess, move the college forward, help our students, our faculty. And I do want to amend one statement. I said the most rewarding part of what I do is the relationship building. Equally rewarding is the impact that it has on our programming and our students and our faculty, and also being closely connected to all across the board, all the great work happening in all the disciplines. So, for example, because my role is central and I'm kind of, like you said, behind the scenes making things happen, I get to know what's happening in art. I get to know what's happening in theater, not nearly as much as I would like to. I feel like it's more surface than I want it to be. But, I get to know what's going on in music and, with the Goin' Band, which that's another really, really key part of my job, is fundraising for the Goin' Band, which is a huge, obviously, to say that it is sort of like a Goliath on campus is like putting it mildly. It's huge, and it's just an honor to be part of it and be enmeshed in that culture, like even in a peripheral way. But for me, that's actually been a highlight, is getting to know the band, getting to know what they do, working with some donors to establish some really significant scholarship endowments. For example, we've got one donor who, since I've come on board and we've worked together, this donor's endowment for the Goin' Band is now supporting at least 25 Goin' Band students a year, if not more.
Oh, wonderful.
That's super rewarding. I was there alongside the band helping them raise funds for their new uniforms. I believe that was maybe 3 years ago or so. And then one thing that I feel that's felt very gratifying is that we've developed a really great working relationship with the Goin' Band Alumni Association. That is a group that is separate from the university, but is working to achieve the same goals that we are. We're aligned in our goals, but we haven't always known how to work together in lockstep. And that is a relationship that we've sort of built together over the years. They've been successful, so I've been happy about that.
And that was probably connected with their big 100th anniversary this year.
100%, yes.
Focused
on their 100th, their centennial anniversary, and they folded in an appeal with a great name called Forward March. I mean, the puns that are available to you. Generally, fundraising in the arts, it's just, a wealth of fun kind of tie-ins that you can make with your language. And the Goin' Band has a whole lot of those too, fun things they can say that sort of frame their appeals. So that's been good. I mean, a huge highlight was being part of the team that raised the funds for this building, for building and renovating the facility that we're in. That was something that happened my first 2 years on the job, was working to put all the funds together for this building.
And this is to be clear to our listeners, this is the
building, yes.
Theater and Dance building, right? That was
Exactly.
greatly expanded. And then there was a second phase of construction that
Correct.
added the dean's offices, where both of our offices are at this point in time.
That's right.
So we are all enjoying the fruits of that. Thank you very much.
Well, the thanks, honestly, is owed to so many people, but that was a great project to be part of. I mean, honestly, Peter, just cut me off, because I could literally go on for a straight hour about all the incredible things that have come to fruition in working with these very generous people who care about the arts.
Sure. I'll ask maybe a specific question. You mentioned the Goin' Band alumni group. Are there similar groups for our schools, the School of Art, for instance, the School of
Yes.
Theater Dance?
We have a wonderful group for the School of Music called the Friends of Music. And they are people here in the community that love music. It's a long time sort of membership association. And some of those folks in that group, they hold events all the time. They attend School of Music events and generally act as advocates in the community. They also do a good amount of fundraising themselves.
Right.
So, they were there with us. Again, it's all about the community that comes with fundraising. When the renovated Hemley Concert Hall opened, the Friends of Music were the first group in the door to kind of see and get a sneak peek. So they sort of have a stake in what we're doing. And then the School of Art has the Medici Circle also. Okay. And I want to mention another project in the School of Art because I don't want to inordinately focus on the band. The School of Art has wonderful, wonderful alumni, just alumni that care so much about what they're doing there. The generosity has been huge. And we've had a wonderful alum whose name is DJ Stout, who's set up a speaker series bringing the top design, graphic design, communications design people here to Lubbock each year to present, do a public talk for the community and work with our students. So that's another thing that I just want to share something about the School of Art as well.
Great.
And they have their own group called the Medici Circle.
And these are, again, community groups that they're social, they're fun.
Yes.
There's typically wine involved.
Generally, there is wine or the beverage of your choice.
Right.
I mean, there's camaraderie there. And theater also launched a group this year, Producer Circle. So it's social and it also provides kind of a behind the scenes look, for example, sometimes at some of the productions or just kind of, it's a bit of an insider kind of thing. So.
Right. And to kind of circle back, I think the overall goal of all of these organizations is essentially scholarship funding by and large. Is that correct?
For music, that is exactly true. Correct. Medici Circle, same thing. Generally, it's scholarship funding, although they do occasionally. And anyone out there in the community who's part of Medici, feel free to issue a correction if I'm wrong about this. It wouldn't be the first time. Sometimes takes on other needs as well. And for the Producer Circle, that is actually set up to support across the board their various needs because they have production needs and things like that. So that one is a little broader. Right. But Friends of Music is very focused on scholarships. Right.
And like with the Goin' Band alumni, there's just an incredible amount of support that flows into these students. And obviously that goes right to the ability of studio teachers in the School of Art, in the School of Music to be able to attract the best and brightest high school grads coming in as undergrads. Typically is where those funds go. So it does go directly to those students, and that enhances the arts on campus certainly, but also I think in the whole community.
Yes, that is very, very true. It really does have that sort of reverberating effect from campus into the community.
Is there anything on the horizon that you want to tip us off to or point coming to fruition?
There are a couple things, and I don't want to come off as being secretive here, but we are working on a fund right now, and I'm kind of refraining from mentioning dollar amounts, but this would be a pretty significant scholarship fund. So I'll tell this through the lens of a story of why the arts are just such a powerful, visceral connection for people. This donor is a School of Art alum who loves art, but then really made the effort to get connected with our college in a broad way. And then this individual said, well, wait a minute, there are great things happening in theater. I love what's going on here. Well, hold on a second. What's happening with the jazz program? What's happening with our School of Music? That's incredible too. Okay. Well, just a minute. I want first generation students to have a chance at getting degrees in the arts. So this donor has slowly sort of put together various avenues of support. And then this individual and I recently sat down and talked with Dean Camacho, who is, by the way, an incredible partner in fundraising, the best you could ever ask for. Sat down and just said, why don't we just do something really big and make an endowed fund for the arts that benefits pretty much every area in the college and has also a priority for first generation students mixed in there too.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's the kind of broad-based support that I love to see our students benefit from.
Well, thank you. That's very inspiring. And
from our own alumni and who recognize beyond their areas of discipline that there are incredible things happening in every single area of the college and wanted to support, felt moved and compelled to support that. So
great.
Kudos to all those doing the great work that are engaging our supporters too.
Is there anything you might want to throw out at the end here in terms of year-end giving? Here we are in the middle of December.
Oh, thanks for that opportunity, Peter. Yes, certainly now is a great time to make a year-end gift. And okay, here's an important message that I want to share. I often have people say to me, well, I can't, I'm not a millionaire. I can't do something really big. And what I want to tell people is that truly, I don't even, this is not even a cliche, truly any gift of any size is extremely meaningful.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, when you're looking to do something generous, a gift of absolutely any size to the college is going to be tremendously helpful. But we often sort of promote our Fund for Excellence for end of year giving. That's one fund that supports general expenses in the college, just the little things that are hard to support through designated giving, but that really make our college function day to day and our students be able to do what they need to do to move through their degree program. Gifts to the Fund for Excellence support us across the board in all our activities, and a gift of any size is really going to make a difference. So you can certainly go online, just, look us up. There'll be all kinds of ways that you can easily give to the Fund for Excellence as we wrap up 2025.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Great to talk with you, Robin Phillips, Senior Director of Development here in the Talkington College at Texas Tech. And I wish you the best of holiday seasons, and we'll see you again in the new year.
It was such a pleasure, Peter. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. The Art Beat, a weekly program putting you in touch with artists and arts events from the J.T. and Margaret Talkington College of Visual and Performing Arts at Texas Tech University.